Hello, welcome to Blunt Truth Knife Reviews. Today, or for this review, I'm doing the SOG Twitch II. Before I get to the Twitch, I want to show you something here on the leak. You know what this is, you've seen a leak, they're very popular. It has a kick on the back. When a knife has a kick, you can't have a liner lock, right? Because you have to have a liner lock because a back lock would come up in the way of the kick. It has to come up to grab the back of the blade when you open it. You can't have a kick sticking through there because the lock bar is in the way. So you're stuck with a frame lock like a leak or a liner lock, whether you like it or not. Not the case with the Twitch II actually. And they get around that. It's an assist opening with a kick and a back lock. So if you like your back locks and you like the kick, you got both with the Twitch II. There are different Twitches. There's a Twitch XL, which is full size. There's a Twitch 1, which is even smaller. And Twitch 2 is good with me. I like it. I think the Twitch XL is too heavy for, if you're going to carry a knife that big, it's a heavy knife. But even though this is all metal, aluminum scales, full metal liners and liner lock, and metal lock bar, everything's metal. There's no plastic at all, anywhere. It's all aluminum scales and metal, stainless steel everywhere. So you got none of that cheap plastic to wear away and break or whatever. Not that metal can't break. Now see the lock bar? They bent it up. It's like one long piece of metal that comes up, bends around the kick and back down, and then they jimped it so that you can feel it where it is, at least when you're using it. When you want to use it, it's easy to find. And the kick works real good. The spring assist has a coil spring underneath this big pivot screw. There's a coil spring. If you take this off, it's so big because there's a big spring coiled in there, and that's what actuates what powers the assist on it. What I find though is on this particular knife, if you just hit the thumb stud toward the pivot screw end of the knife this way, it actuates it perfectly and comes right out, no problem. So I don't even use the kick. I like the kick, it works. If you like it, it works great. And when it's open, like all knives with kicks, it forms an kind of a guard from your fingers going up on the blade. And this one works pretty good at that. It sticks quite a ways down. It has a little bit of jimping on here. And I believe the jimping is mostly so that when it's closed, you'll grab the kick when you want to use it to open it. I actually have carried this, EDC'd this a lot, and it hasn't worn away at all. It still looks brand new. This finish is very durable. It's just aluminum, but then they coated it or anodized it with something. It's got a soft texturing to it. And I think it's a very attractive knife. It has a nice blade. It has the same blade as a Flash 1. I had a Flash 1. I don't like the Flash, any of the Flashes, because the handles have this funny shape that bulges down right here. And I guess some people like that, but to me it doesn't feel right in my hand. I didn't like it, and I didn't like all the plastic, entire plastic handle with no liners, and this is all steel. It only weighs 2.5 ounces. Yeah, the Flash 1 weighed 1.5 ounces or ounce and 1.7 or something, but for 1 more ounce you get all metal, lock back. The Flash has a liner lock, and that's little safety clip. It had a lock system to lock the lock right here. This has that too, but it's right here. I've never engaged it by accident. And even though I don't use it, it does what they all do, is it'll lock the blade so it won't close, and locks the blade so it won't open if it's locked. I think that's the most advantageous aspect of it, is locking it shut, because if you have a knife with a kick and you have it little knife like this, you might want to go hiking or whatever, throw it in your pack, or a girl maybe throw it in her purse, or in your fanny pack or whatever, throw it in a bag. This thing could very easily, if it's not locked down, it can very easily just bump into something. Now I can't get it to do it, but basically you get the idea, is that it can bump into something, push against something in your pack, pop open. Even if it pops open part way, you don't want this in your bag bouncing around like that. It's going to at least damage things in your bag or your bag itself, or you stick your hand in and it's obvious what's going to happen. Now the blade, it's a flat grind all the way to the spine. It's a little over 2.5 inches long, which is, it's a small knife, so 2.5 inch blade. It makes a full use of that 2.5 inches all the way down to the start of the blade. So that's nice. It's AUS 8. They call it cryogenically treated, which means that they, instead of letting it cool at room temperature after heat treating, they cool it rapidly. I'm not sure if they use liquid nitrogen or what, or just a freezer, but it's cooled rapidly, cryogenically, and it's supposed to make the grains of the steel compress and be tighter and closer together and allow the knife to have a sharper edge and keep it longer. I don't find a lot of difference between this and other SOG, AUS 8s. It's hard to judge. It's not enough of a difference for me to notice in daily use. It holds an edge well though, and it slices very well. It cuts through cardboard very well. I'm going to demonstrate that anyway. You'll see me cutting cardboard and everything. I use it at work. I carried it today. I use it regularly. It gets a lot of use, and it handles it well. The handle's kind of comfortable. I'll talk about that when I do the cutting demo. The clip I like a lot. You can't move it anywhere. You can tell that just looking at it because of the way it curves to the top. It's tipped up, right hand, period. You can't move it anywhere. Okay? There's holes over here. It won't fit it because it's curved to fit this side of the knife. That's it. This is the way it is. So it's tip up, right hand. That's okay with me. I'm right-handed and I don't really care if it's tip up or tip down. I can work with a knife either way. So that's the SOG Twitch II. Back lock on an assist knife with a kick. A little bit unusual there, and I like it a lot. Now, if you watch part 2, you'll see it doing some cutting of cardboard and wood. That's the end of the tabletop. Bye.